Max.
Yeah.
DC niggas be like, Shazam's the real Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Brie Larson's trash. The real Captain Marvel. It
Bro.
fucking make me sick.
I mean, but in their defense, you know, he was Captain Marvel.
I mean, yeah, but it was a lawsuit, and now it's not. He's Shazam, which it actually makes more sense to call him that for obvious reasons. Anyway,
Did you just do fan service? We did fan service. Did we just mention that he was Captain Marvel first for fan service or for knowledge? I'm curious now.
It's knowledge. I mean, it's obvious he was, but
just making sure because
I just like mocking DC niggas because they stay crying about little shit like that.
I just really feel like it would have been a whole lot of DC niggas that would have been like, but y'all didn't mention that he was the original Captain Marvel. His name was Captain Marvel.
Well, and that further proves my point. Anyway, what's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 5. This is 5, right? Episode 5.
Episode 5.
Facts from the lab. And if you didn't notice, this is the Shazam review. Max?
It was actually a pretty good movie. I like the energy between the cast. It was better than an average DC movie, to be honest. I liked it better than Aquaman. I mean, I know that's not saying a lot.
Yeah, it's not, but I agree. Go ahead.
But Aquaman was, I'm not going to even get into that one. But Shazam was fun. And you don't really get a fun DC movie. They usually dark and gloomy, but it was cool.
Yeah, like I said, if anybody saw my post on Facebook, I always go into these DC comic movies expecting the worst. I never expected to be.
Hold up. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Who was Shazam though?
Okay, yeah, I think that would be fair to go that route. All right. Now, I myself have not read too many Shazam comics, so my knowledge of him is very limited, especially his origin. But what I do know is, if you don't know, like we mentioned at the beginning of this, he was known as Captain Marvel at first, and it should be quite obvious why the name had to be changed to Shazam. I'm not even going to break all that down just because it's common sense. But Shazam is...
legal reasons.
Thank you, Max. Thanks. Shazam, of course, comes from a lineage of wizards, powerful wizards, and they look for, well, I don't know how accurate this is, but I guess they look for people to take their powers after they can no longer use them or they grow weaker.
Yeah, they have to be pure at heart though.
Yeah, pure at heart, right. And that's how they run into this teenager by the name of Billy Batson. And he is the one that's chosen to take the power of Shazam, and that's why Shazam looks big and strong, looks like another Superman, but he still has the mind of a child. So he still acts like a child. So it makes for a good story, and that's why we have this movie.
Right. And for those who don't know, each letter of Shazam stands for a different god, a Greek god. So S is for the wisdom of Solomon, H is for the strength of Hercules, A is for the stamina of Atlas, Z is for the power of Zeus, A is for the courage of Achilles, and M is for the speed of Mercury.
Yes, I actually didn't know that was the acronym. So see, he just taught me something. So I hope y'all learned something too, just from that.
Yeah, but like Micah said, a lot of people tend to compare him to Superman, and I can kind of see the comparison, but I just think that he's a bit more fun than Superman, and he's a bit more interesting.
Yeah, it's the whole entertainment aspect of him, because of the fact that he's got a child's mind and he does fun, silly shit that we think is cool. While everybody else, like Batman and Superman, being all serious and aggressive and stuff. And that's, I just wish DC wasn't collapsing like it is right now with all the actors bailing out, because it would have been great to see him share the screen with the other Justice Leaguers that we just saw in the Justice League movie 2 years ago. But that's neither here nor there. That's another topic. Back to this movie. All right. Now, everything that I did, now I do agree with you. I did, from an entertainment standpoint, I did enjoy this better than Aquaman. I did. Zachary Levi was great. I mean, he delivered perfectly. Like, you could tell he worked hard. He wanted this to be perfect, and he didn't want to mess it up. And he did a great job from start to finish. His interaction with all the cast members, and you can tell they had fun working with him, because the way they was feeding off of his energy, the way he was feeding off of his, I really wasn't expecting that out of him. So that's a definite plus for me as far as that. What else did I like about this? I did like another thing DC has a problem with their movies is the way they layer out the stories. They drag it so long. That's why so many DC comic movies are long as hell, because they just take so long getting to the plot, and it really bothers me. But I don't think they did that this time. Like, I think they pretty much made it clear what was going to happen, and they went right through it, and not, gave it this long, drawn out, all this talking, all this development, and nothing's happening, and this bunch of like dead space, I guess you could say, and it's making people not interested, and we losing interest in the middle of the movie and shit.
I really believe that it was well paced, and like you said, it was a whole lot of fun. The character, the actor did a whole lot. The character, I can't talk today.
Come on, man, get it together, man. Get it together.
The actor did a real good job of bringing the character to life. I like the fact that the Shazam family was included. Like, that was really cool to me.
Yeah, it's crazy because the way I found that out was because of the damn Pop toys that, if y'all don't know, I'm a huge collector of them. And I saw them in Hot Topic. I'm like, hold the fuck up. Are they spoiling this movie now? Like, are we about to see the other ones? And then sure enough, bam, back and good, I love you, baby.
I kind of knew that they was going to be in the movie when I saw Darla. Like, the first scene Darla was in, I was like, wait a minute, it's about to be a Shazam family.
Yeah, so it was, although I expected it was cool actually seeing it. So yeah, that was nice. God damn, I was about to say something. Oh, see, the reason why I'm so high on Zachary Levi's performance, because as much as I love the Captain Marvel movie, and I'm trying not to compare both of these movies, I'm really trying hard not to, but one of my main issues with Captain Marvel was, of course, Brie Larson's stale performance, where with Zachary Levi, it was complete opposite. Like, he brought so much character and life into Shazam, and that made me happy to see. I really, really enjoyed that. And I don't know if you mentioned this, I don't know, maybe somebody else did, but this is definitely a family movie, and I think kids will gravitate toward this movie the most because of how the cast is. There's so many children within the cast, and I think a lot of the children will see that, and they'll relate to what's going on in the schools and with all that, and the whole thing of, kids want to be superheroes, so they seeing this kid turn into a superhero, like, oh my god, that's cool. They like that shit. So this is definitely one superhero movie that you definitely take your kids to see. They gonna love it more than anybody else.
The lead kid, what was his name? Asher Angel, I believe.
What his acting name or his
name, his actual name?
Oh, I have no idea.
I believe it's Asher Angel. He was real great. He was real great as young Billy Batson.
Yeah, he was alright. He was alright. I like his character development a lot.
I honestly couldn't see nobody else playing Billy. He played Billy to a T.
Yeah, his character development was really well. A lot of them had good character development, but that brings me to one of my negatives. Speaking of development, that would be the villain, Dr. Sivana. Now, it pains me to even say this because Mark Strong is that actor, and I like Mark Strong as an actor. As a matter of fact, this is his second time doing a DC Comics film. He was Sinestro in the Green Lantern movie.
I know.
That trash-ass Green Lantern movie that I wish they would just delete from history. But
I deleted it from my brain.
And he was also in what the hell is it? Kingsman, one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, he was actually the voice of in another movie. I can't remember right now, but it was a DC animated film. Yeah,
he's a great actor. I'm a fan of his, but I just didn't like how the development of this villain at all. Like, it really seemed like he was doing what he was doing for nothing.
It was no direction.
Right, he had no real motive. Like,
I felt myself just asking, why are you doing this?
Yeah, like you have really. He had reading the textures in, but it's like, you're just causing all this destruction just to really scare people from what it seems to me. Like I don't know his history in the comics. Like I said, my knowledge of him in comic wise is It's very bleak. So whoever knows about that, y'all can correct me. But from what I see in this movie, if this is how he is in the comics, then I don't even know why they used him as a villain to start with. Honestly.
Yeah, they definitely should have went with Black Adam.
Right. Where was Black Adam?
When he killed his brother, I was looking like, what are you doing? What was the purpose behind
it? Is that scene in the office room when he summoned? That.
And then he killed his father. I'm like, bro, why are you just killing these people? Like, I understand villains are sometimes mindless and don't care and they just want to cause destruction, but he kind of like gave a speech.
Right,
and didn't really say much in the speech, and I'm just like, okay, I'm confused. What is your direction, sir?
Right, and granted, he had the troubled childhood or whatever. Like he was picked on or told he couldn't be this, couldn't be that. I get it, but it's still not enough motive to do what he did and kill all these people. And it just, I don't know. His development was just weird to me. I wasn't feeling that at all. Boy. The CGI.
Oh my god.
Nigga, what the hell?
Was it worse than Justice League?
I think it's up there. I really think it's up. This is a L for the editing department, big time. The 7 Deadly Sin monsters, horrible.
DC.
That was the worst editing.
Warner Brothers, y'all need to go holler at Marvel and holler at their editors and see what the fuck they doing, because y'all slipping, bro.
That CGI was piss poor.
That
I couldn't believe it.
CGI was, oh my gosh.
It seemed like the only time the CGI was somewhat passable was when Shazam was doing his powers. Like anything else, whether it be those monsters, whether it had been the villain or anything
oh my
else.
gosh, especially the villain. His eye was so, I wasn't sold.
Yeah, it just I just was, that CGI made me mad. Like, if it wasn't, I honestly would have gave this a low grade, and I'll give my grade at the end of this. I would have gave this a lower grade if it wasn't for Zachary Levi's performance, because I think he pretty much made this movie watchable, as well as some of the supporting cast. But this CGI was
Freddy.
He was cool. He was alright. He was a good.
I'm sorry, the guy that played Freddy.
Yeah,
and the little girl that played Darla.
Yeah, she was definitely the favorite of a lot of people. This is the second comic book movie in a row where one of the favorites is a little black girl.
I like it. that's dope.
Yeah, that is cool.
That's a real cool trend. I hope they continue with that trend. But now we're at the part of the show that's really, really not my favorite part. What we don't like.
Well, I already started with that shit. I couldn't wait to get to it. Wait a minute, I think there was there was one more thing I didn't like, and the fact that they didn't go deeper with the origins of the wizards, because I know there's an extensive origin and where they come from and why they looking for these people to take their powers because they're getting weaker. They didn't dig deeper into that. It's just like
they definitely made it seem like the wizards just came out of thin air.
Yeah, and I feel like that was a missed opportunity, but whatever. Go ahead.
Tisk. Okay, so one of my beefs was, as I mentioned earlier, the letters of Shazam stands for a different god. So Solomon was a very wise individual. Mm-hmm. So when he turns into Shazam, he gets all the knowledge of Solomon. He's able to speak different languages, able to comprehend things faster, and just all around very intelligent. So in the movie, he spent a good majority struggling with his powers. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, you have the wisdom of Solomon. Solomon should be speaking to you and telling you how to control them and how to use them. Mm-hmm. So I feel like they could have managed his powers a bit better. Like Micah said, they could have did a whole lot more with the villain.
Maybe it's because I just want Black Adam. I don't know. I just like, even when I saw him in the trailer, I was like, this is who they going with, really?
But you know why I mentioned like Billy's progression with his powers? Because at the end of the movie, when the Shazam family got their powers, they was staggering for like a good 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden towards the end of the scene, they knew how to use their powers very well. Yeah. And they started fighting the monsters, and then once they start learning their powers, the monsters got like less threatening, and it kind of threw me off. I'm like, wait a minute. At first, these monsters was killing people, destroying property, and then all of a sudden, they're not as vicious.
Well, you know what? Let me. I'll defend them on this one, because a lot of them kids, a few of them kids are very smart. So I'm pretty sure once they was standing there figuring out what it was they could do, then they kind of just, okay, if I could do this, I could do this to him. And, like how Darla was figuring out her speed and how Pedro was figuring out his strength. Like,
right.
I mean, they're not dumb kids.
I get that, but I'm saying Billy wasn't dumb.
Well, yeah, that's my point. Like,
right. But it just bothered me because DC can never ever get like both sides correct. Like they get one side down and then the other side is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So they had the story balanced and paced properly, but Billy's powers wasn't like his progression wasn't paced properly. So that kind of blew me. And then it went from, oh, I don't know how to use these powers, to like it went from 0 to 60 because in one scene, he was confused and didn't know how to fight him back, and then in the next scene he's going toe to toe with him.
Yeah, I mean, like I told you, I'm hoping it's just a progression thing. So if there's a Shazam 2, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be because this movie's getting a lot of good reviews, I'm hoping that he will be more in tune with what he can do, and especially knowledge-wise. So I'm just praying that it's a progression thing and he'll get better down the line.
Yeah, I really hope that Warner Brothers get that CGI shit down pat too.
Man, that CGI just fucked me up, man. I'm sorry. That was just bad. That was horrible. Yeah, this movie, I mean, I wouldn't say it exceeded my expectations, but it's like right there. Like I wasn't expecting to be that entertaining. The comedy, that's the one thing I was fearful of. I thought they was going to throw the comedy all in our face from left to right, and they didn't do it. It was evened out. It was not forced. A lot of it actually was funny, like the convenience store scene, all that shit. That shit was funny.
It's funny that you say that because that kind of brings up another negative that I had for this movie. So when Billy is, Billy Batson, he's like the serious kid that finesses and does what it takes to get what he wants.
Right.
And he's serious like most of the movie. But when he's Shazam, he's not serious. It's like he got a bubbly personality. He's laughing. He's doing tricks. And it kind of like threw me off a bit. I'm like, okay, this should be switched.
Well, I mean, it depends. Like the thing about you got all these powers and you a kid, what you gonna do? You gonna act a fool and you gonna care what people think.
Right, but I'm gonna try to learn that shit. I'm gonna try to get that shit down pat.
Yeah, well, kids think, especially kids nowadays, but they ain't gonna think like that. They just gonna do a bunch of wild shit with their powers and not even know how to fully master them. So, in some ways, that's kind of accurate. In some ways, but I see what you're saying. though. I get it.
But other than that, it was a pretty dope film. Like I'm glad I went to go see it.
By the way, we got to talk about that end credit scene because I was lost. I found out who the guy was talking to the doctor in the crazy house cell, the prison cell. That guy's called Mr. Mind,
right.
And he's another Shazam villain. And now I'm assuming he's the next one, which pisses me off again because niggas want Black Adam. What the hell? But that's what that was, and I don't know.
I'm a little confused as well. I'm gonna have to go like rewatch it because
I didn't look him up.
I honestly thought it was gonna be Black Adam up next.
Yeah. I had to look up more on Mr. Mind and see who he is and what he can do, and is he that much of a threat? Because a fucking caterpillar, that's what he looked like some type of bug in the windowsill.
Yeah.
But I gotta look that up. But are you the only one that's pissed about that Superman tease at the end? Yo,
I think they hit his face because the internet was clowning Superman and Justice League for that horrible ass CGI over his mustache.
Yeah,
that's why they hit his face.
CGI is not DC Comics' best friend at all. And well, you know what? They could have hit it because Henry Cavill is no longer Superman now. So maybe it's just true. I don't know. I mean, it was cool that they did that, threw that in there, but damn, like you kind of fucking with us. We don't even have a Superman right now currently. So,
man, I was doing a whole lot of critical thinking. That one scene when Freddy was telling the whole school that he knew Shazam, and Shazam was going to come sit and have lunch with him. I'm like, bro, why didn't you just show him you was the mastermind behind the videos? Like, why you didn't just show him the YouTube page of the videos that y'all made?
That's a bit of a waffle right there, I guess.
So I don't know. That was just probably me thinking critically, but other than that, I really give this film a solid 7.
I gave it a 7.5 just because of Zachary Levi's performance. I think he really made this a fun watch overall. It's a fun movie. I know these other DC comic movies we take so seriously because of the tone of it, but this is different. This is a fun family movie with laughs, with messages being told, and all types of fun bubbly shit. So yes, please go ahead and take your badass kids to see it. They will love this superhero. They'll like him most definitely.
Yeah. So I guess that wraps up this episode.
What do we have coming for them next? Should we tell them?
For the next episode, we're going to have the battle of the sexes. We're going to have some opinions, and we're going to have some topics addressed from different sexes.
The main topic being astrology, and if it's a huge factor in deciding who you want to date. But we're not going to dive in too deep into that, because look at you ready to go in for it.
Yeah, you're going to have to catch that on the next episode. I'm trying to tell you.
We ain't going to go too deep into that.
That was going to be a killer. So you might want to stay tuned and look out for that one.
All right. So, that being said, until next time, people, we are out. This is your boy, Mike Navarro.
And it's your boy, Max. Say less.
We out. Shazam!